Imagine a French company gets a license to mine gold in African country. That license gives them legal ownership of the site. They extract the gold, sell it for billions, and because of the tax agreement, they pay zero income tax in Africa. No royalty, no profit tax, nothing. So even though the gold came from Africa, the African country earns nothing from its own gold. The same thing is happening with cobalt, lithium oil, you name it. Meanwhile, African companies trying to operate in Europe, they are forced to open local branches, follow European tax laws, and pay full taxes on no exemptions, no loopholes.
Now France,
will France accept this quietly, or will they attempt to retaliate through diplomatic or financial pressure, as they have done in the past when African nations dared to stand up for themselves?
We are one or second in the Eurozone. Now when I take Europe, and especially the EU as a whole, but it's true as well for UK, we have this issue in terms of business model. Why? Because we had low-cost energy thanks to Russia, production thanks to Central and Eastern European countries with quite low costs, a market for exports China, and a geopolitical umbrella US. These pillars are being completely revised, totally.
Yes.
And it's no more valid. So we have to reinvent. What and how? By creating much more value on our own, by being much more innovative, by creating much more jobs and jobs with value, good jobs, I would say, on our continent. The key point is deliver much more innovation and productivity policy, public and private. So the second key reform is to accelerate decarbonization and especially our electricity policy, because through renewables and nuclear energy, we can deliver low carbon, sovereign, and low-cost energy, which is much more than importing gas and fossil fuels. Third, we need much more investment based on common budget, and in my view, I mean, based on public reports and figures, we need 1 trillion more in terms of budget, in terms of spending. And in parallel, we have to make the capital market union a reality.
How many more African generations must struggle under the illusion of independence while their national wealth is siphoned abroad? Senegal's stand also exposes the hypocrisy of Western nations that preach democracy and fairness, but maintain exploitative economic systems in their former colonies. These systems, built on unequal contracts and tax privileges, are designed to keep African nations dependent and impoverished. But now, as African governments awaken to their rights and their people demand accountability, could France's economic empire in Africa finally be crumbling? The symbolism of this move cannot be overstated. It sends a message that Africa is no longer afraid to rewrite the rules. Senegal has chosen dignity over dependency, sovereignty over submission, and fairness over fear. And as this story unfolds, the world will be forced to confront an uncomfortable truth. Africa no longer seeks permission to control its destiny. In the end, this is about more than taxes. It is about respect, equality, and justice. It is about the end of economic slavery hidden behind polite diplomacy. The question now is, will other African nations have the courage to follow Senegal's example, or will they continue to bow under the weight of foreign influence? This decision by Senegal marks a turning point in African history. It reminds the world that independence is not a one-time event, but a continuous struggle, a daily demand for fairness and control over one's own future. If the rest of Africa stands united behind such reforms, the balance of global power may finally begin to shift. And if France truly values partnership, it must learn to treat Africa not as a possession, but as an equal. Thank you for watching this AfriPlus news analysis. What are your thoughts on Senegal's decision to demand tax justice from French companies? Do you believe this will spark similar actions across Africa? Drop your thoughts respectfully in the comment section. Your opinion matters and helps us build a stronger, more informed community.